Hi, Dr. Rachel Langley with Pine Ridge Family Medicine here to talk with you about a subject that is kind of unique to me, at least in Colorado Springs here. So you may or may not know, but I don't prescribe birth control. Dr. V does, and that works. But I am really disappointed with pretty much every form of birth control out there sucks in some major way. I really don't like them. Like the pill, man, risk of clotting and stroke, that's not cool. And risk of maybe even an early abortion, depending on when life starts, I mean, that's rough. And all the other hormonal things do the same, have the same side effects and are scary. I really rarely feel that a patient really benefits from those. And the side effects that aren't so life-threatening, things like weight gain and moodiness, sometimes it works really well and sometimes it really doesn't. So that's one of the reasons that I got some extra training to be able to offer what's called NaProTechnology. So what the heck is that? And what is NFP? That's another thing that I'm involved with. So NFP, or Natural Family Planning, it gets a bad rap because of the rhythm method of yore. So back when the old days when they used to think that every woman had a 28-day cycle and therefore would ovulate on day 14 and have her period on day 28, that's a nice idea, and it's a first step in understanding how women's bodies works, but it certainly doesn't cover every woman, and it shouldn't be used in trying to plan a family. So it's definitely progressed since then. I mean, research being what it is and science being what it is, I should hope so. And now we have much better ways of being able to predict when women are fertile and able to become pregnant. And so you can plan intercourse around that or not around that, depending on whether you'd be open to having a pregnancy or not. It's a pretty cool system. And there's all sorts of different methods out there. And there's typically one that will fit your situation best. So I'll go over them real quick. So there's ones that are symptothermal. So that thermal means temperature. So you check your temperature every morning. I've seen some really cool devices out there coming out that maybe just attached to your arm. I haven't seen the research behind those, but it's a really interesting idea that it can get your basal body temperature and communicate it to your phone without you having to remember to stick a thermometer in your mouth at the right time every morning. So your temperature actually fluctuates over the course of your cycle so that you can tell before and after you ovulate based on your temperature. And you also look for other symptoms, whether you tend to get a little bit of a pinchy cramp when you ovulate, you can use that. Or if you've noticed that you always get a headache right before you have your period, that'd be another thing to start charting and writing down so that you can figure out your own body. Women's bodies are so, so cool, and I wish that we had a better understanding of them. And this is one step in getting there for your own body, is being able to chart your cycles. So symptothermal is one way that you can chart your cycles. Another way is a mucus-only method. So that's like the Billings method is what it's called, or the Creighton method. That's the one I'm trained in. And that's where you actually look at your cervical mucus. Okay, so you're supposed to have a mucus that comes out down there, and you often can notice it when you wipe, and it's supposed to be there all the time to varying degrees, and it actually fluctuates over the course of your cycle. So when you're most fertile, it's going to be the most stretchy, and so you can make observations every day about that and be able to predict with really good reliability, like scientifically backed up by the Creighton Institute in Nebraska, reliability of how close that is to your ovulation time. So you can figure out your body. And then another method that comes to mind of NFP is those little pee sticks that you see in the stores, where you pee on a stick every day and can tell when you ovulate based on the LH surge, a certain kind of hormone that's released in order to allow you to ovulate. So that's just 3 really cool methods. There's lots of apps out there to help you start paying more attention to your body. I really recommend, if you want to start using this on a regular basis, though, is to look into oh, I thought I had a nice little pamphlet on it. The fertility care system, Creighton model classes, where someone actually sits down with you and talks you through how this works, why it's a good idea to start tracking, to have to pay attention to your body every day, what health benefits there are to it beyond just avoiding or achieving pregnancy. So it's really cool. I love that it's so personal. We have one outstanding teacher here in Colorado Springs. Her name is Kristinehardesty. If you want her contact information, I would love to supply it. She's a lovely person. And if you have medical issues that come up and you realize that either before you even start charting, or as you're charting you realize, ooh, there's things that aren't quite right here, that's when I get involved. That's what I'm trained to do, is look at your chart, talk to you, get to know you, maybe do some lab tests, maybe do some ultrasounds, things like that, and start you in the right direction of better health. And that's why I have this ginormous book. It's the biggest book in my repertoire that's all about NaProTechnology. And I've taken courses on this, and it's very much an area of interest. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in learning more about, I invite you to visit the website for NaProTechnology or the Creighton model of NFP, or any of the methods of NFP. They're all pretty cool. And just in general, start getting to know your body a little bit better.